Eagles on the beat will be rolling shit. Got the Migos on the beat will be.
You can't kill my confidence, you think I give a fuck, that's what they do. You can't kill my confidence, you think I give a fuck, that's what they do. You can't kill my confidence, you think I give a fuck, that's what they tell me. All the fucks I ever give 'em, give 'em, give 'em, give 'em.
And I'm gonna unmute you, just FYI.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I unmuted first, so all of you heard that I was saying that I was gonna unmute my brother. But what up, chat? It's been like a fucking week, guys. Holy shit. Holy shit. Dude, I've had such a busy week, chat. You have no idea, okay? I had to grade people. I'm old now. I know, chat always hates when I say that too.
That you're old?
Yeah, that I'm old.
Or they had to work?
Both. It's like two. It's like two. They're like, oh, YouTuber gets a job and now he's tired. He wouldn't last a day in retail. And they're right, I wouldn't. Which is
I
why
wouldn't either.
which is why I do this.
Yeah.
Did you get a splitting headache from Alex's brick? Yeah, actually, this killed me. I'm a ghost.
Turn to the
My 401k
My money for the
was
recession puts me in the ground.
3.5k, so here's my money before the recession
so-
puts me in the ground.
we will discuss a little bit about the tariff stuff since it is like really pertinent to this entire like thing. I obviously, when we talk about coffee brand coffee as owners of a coffee company, you are allowed to spend your money however you wish. This is not an indictment of the business.
Where is your collection of small
Oh my
plain
god!
deep-
I just checked my Roth IRA. Oh my god! I lost like $50. It's just not a lot in here, but I lost like $50.
I'm not even looking.
Don't.
It was like
I pulled out all my money.
The
a while ago.
the S&P 500 had like a like the worst day in the last 4 years.
Yeah, the last 4 years. It's been having the worst day consistently for the past. I don't know. I forget what day it was, but didn't some stock market thing drop 1,000 points?
I don't know. I was literally just watching a
Oh.
video on it from the Plain Bagel. And
Yeah.
it was like the Penguin Island had like tariffs
Oh
on it.
yeah.
And there ain't nobody
So-
that lives on it.
There's nobody. Yeah, there's an island. Is it Australian? Yeah. Nobody lives. There's no permanent residences. But they're getting tariffed. So I really wonder how that's gonna pan out for the penguins of that island. I wonder how the economy is gonna do over there because their main export of fish
Your chat shows
might-
your coffee more than you
just
do.
might get hampered. So
Listen, chat.
we'll see.
The pinned comment has access to Mana Potion coffee. Feel free to head over there and pick up some of our fine nerdy wares, okay?
Yeah, please do. No lemonade right now. I have to go get the new one. The recipe changed. No
Yeah.
more yellow 5.
No more yellow.
No more yellow 5. Yellow 5 is gone. Yellow 5. Imagine getting a message, an email, middle of the day from a manufacturer saying, due to current political standings or whatever,
Oh
we have
yeah,
changed.
RFK got rid of all the fucking
Yeah,
coloring
so
or
because
whatever.
of yeah, we no more yellow 5. So enjoy brown lemonade. I haven't seen it yet. We have more coming up.
I assume it would still come out yellow, right? Like I feel like
I hope so. It has organic lemon powder.
okay.
I was looking at. I don't know how it's gonna taste. I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Hopefully it's
Mana
good.
Potion coffee. Red
So-
heart emoji.
We're gonna be okay. So you're familiar with the quartering now, right, Johnny? Right?
I'm familiar enough.
Yeah. So he's fighting, the woke mind virus.
Yeah, we hate that.
His entire channel is filled with the huge that you'd expect. We got we got psychojournalist harass my assistant. Bill Burr in fear after being asked to defend leftist attacks. Donald Trump massive win. Job market explodes. Is that a good or bad
Is it
thing?
really? What type of explosion
Yeah, is
are
that
we
like an up
having
or a
here?
down
Yeah.
explosion? Joe Rogan blasts Snow White.
The Op Block celebrates 8 months of membership.
Thank you,
FPS stands for
Op.
Buy My Coffee at ManaPotion.com.
Yep, it's a silent buy my coffee at manapotioncoffee.com.
Yeah.
But you've seen what kind of content he makes, right? Like you know what it is. Transgender kids.
This is gonna be like another 37-year-old out for blood.
No, he doesn't.
Type
He doesn't.
situation.
He doesn't care about us, his existence.
Good.
He has 2 black dads.
Does he?
No, he doesn't. That's a lie. That way he can be racist. That's like the whole joke. Is that he's just in my opinion a little bit of a racist. But he put out a video recently that was like a call to action about his coffee company, Coffee Brand Coffee, which despite his entire channel and brand being political, his Coffee Brand Coffee brands itself as apolitical.
Well, that's a lie.
Well, this.
Well, I mean, like, how could it be political? It's just coffee, really.
Yeah, it's not like it's inherently political, but when you talk, I will say this, when you talk about coffee as like an industry, there is like certain beliefs that are
Here's the thing.
present.
Here's the thing. If you talk about money in general, it's political. Money is a political thing. So when I get into business, when I go to business school, I talk about politics because politics influence the way money transfers from person to person or company to company or country to country. So every single company in essence is political. That is my belief. You could say differently. There are companies out there that say, "Hey, we're not political. We're not going to choose a side." But really, you're probably lobbying for something.
He would argue things like being, like certified organic, right, or something like that.
That's not political. That's not necessarily political. That's an outside.
There are people who feel like those things these days are political, right? Like a fair trade is a political statement you're making when you sell coffee. That's fair trade.
It is. Because being fair trade means that there's a governing body telling the farmers not to have child labor. So in that essence, yes, it is political. And that is good. I'm happy that other countries don't have children farming
the coffee.
this coffee. I actually wrote a paper about this. Talking about specifically us, because I was tasked to write a paper about a company, and I chose us. And then I did a deep dive onto fair trade certification. The fair trade certification itself isn't like a government thing. It's not like a USA thing, but it's a team of a bunch of people from different countries that overview it and work with coffee like producers. They also give what's it called, aid to people to make sure that they can be fair trade certified. So if I'm in like another country and I want to be fair trade certified, but I don't have the money, they'll give you a loan. Like, all right, cool, that's great.
Okay, so Coffee Brand Coffee does kind of its own thing, right? Those like standards that, or they're not like standards, but you see a lot of specialty roasters use like those things or have some kind of certification associated with them. That happens a lot in specialty coffee. It's pretty common in the business, right? Jeremy says that according to the title, woke leftists just screwed me over and all my staff.
How?
I don't know. He's going to explain it. It's 11 minutes.
Great.
What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from TheQuartering. I wasn't sure I was going to go public about this, but it appears I have to now. Many of you know that I've got a lot of irons in the fire. You've heard me say, hey, I've got my mega mixology cookbook to help fund the new studio. I've obviously it's a meme, but you all know I have my coffee company. Well, the coffee company has also been expanding to take on Amazon to try and compete more with bigger names and to hopefully by the end of the year be on the grocery shelves. And for the past 3 years, I've prided Coffee Brand Coffee on remaining completely apolitical. And that's literally why I called it that. Some
I'm sorry.
Wait, hold up. He's like a political commentary person though.
Yeah, all of his like he had quotes. I need to look at the Reddit post, but he had a news publication, right?
Uh-huh.
That was like like a right-wing news outlet.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Coffee Brand Coffee, I believe, had like an affiliate with them as well.
These young
So
inspirers.
it's a
now go
political
by their
company.
And
Well, it's not-
everybody,
here's the thing.
everybody I've seen with a Coffee Brand Coffee affiliate is like associated with politics in some regard.
Yeah. Which they can do. Like I don't care. Like do whatever you want. But it's a political company. I feel like if you're the owner of a company and you're out there being super political in general, it's gonna bleed over to how you run your company. Like, of course, climate change is real. But I don't think I need to tell everyone in chat.
Whoa.
Oh,
Calm
sorry.
down, liberal.
Pardon my speech, but it is real. And I feel like, Mana Potion Coffee, we have, eco-friendly bags? Crazy. Somebody looks at our company and says, oh my, they're woke! I'm not going to be, like, pressed about it. Like,
we're not selling like, trans woke beans in our coffee.
Yeah, it's not,
right?
That's not what we're doing.
But like, I don't know, people could probably make like inferences based on those things.
Yeah.
I guess some people would maybe they get annoyed. I don't know.
I don't care. Do whatever you want. But when I look at his coffee, I'm like, just I don't know.
Trans woke beans coming this June. Honestly, no, we canceled Pride Month. It's over now.
Yeah, we got rid of that one. If it's not on my Google Calendar, I don't know if it exists.
Sorry. This summer we're going down to the Gulf of America,
Yeah. I think they took down my my review of the Gulf of America. So
okay, let's keep going.
people think the name is goofy. I get that, but it would have been easier for me to sell
real quick.
Okay.
The name of the brand is bad. I'm just gonna straight say Coffee Brand Coffee is unoriginal, uninspired, and a not good name. I'm not saying I'm a wordsmith myself, but Coffee Brand Coffee was the first thing he thought of. Whatever. Continue. Sorry. Just that always bugged me.
Tears coffee or something like that. But I want my coffee to be on coffee shelves one day. There's a big difference between what I do and what most everyone else does. I don't drop ship my coffee. We roast our own special blends.
So okay. I think there's a little bit of a misnomer with what he's saying there. So he does have a roaster, and I do believe he works with the roaster to make blends for their coffee, but
that's fine.
He doesn't and that's when we'll get into the drop shipping discussion, and it'll probably be like a really long aside, right? But people have said that he's drop shipping because he himself or a factory he doesn't own doesn't produce the coffee themselves. They use another manufacturer to produce the coffee.
No, that's not drop shipping.
Hand flavor our beans. We pack our orders. We ship our orders. We handle our customer service. We are not a drop ship outlet. We're a real coffee company. And I made that investment with the plan of having something that could grow. Well, we've never been at our most vulnerable. But right now we're stocking up for Mother's Day, which is an important time of year for us because we do so well for Mother's Day gift boxes. And we're trying to compete on Amazon. And I'm trying to build a new office. All of these things have stretched basically me to the absolute max. It was fine. You probably saw I was selling my Neo Geo collection. I'm selling my Nintendo collection. I'm selling all this stuff to help fund this stuff. And it's because I believe in the things that I'm doing. But now we hit a roadblock that I need to try and reach out and give you an
Empathize with
This
him.
was 2 weeks ago. He must be hitting a much bigger roadblock now.
I kind of sympathize with him a little bit. If I have a company I really enjoy and I'm happy about and I like, and I made it, and financially you're not doing great, and you had to sell your personal goods to kind of push the company towards where it needs to go, I sympathize with him 100%. And really the only person, well, here's the thing, because I think I understand what's about to happen in this video. If I'm not doing the best job I can running my company, I shouldn't be blaming other people. If I'm not doing the sales I want to do, the only person that I should blame is myself. And that's not saying like, oh, you're depressed, you're blaming yourself. It's not a bad thing. It's hey, Jonathan, maybe I should be doing something else because clearly this isn't working. It's not hey, the consumers don't like my great product, it's their fault. Actually, it's a big conspiracy that all the consumers are trying to mess me up. That's not what should happen.
There's some spoilers in the chat. Don't look.
I won't look, don't worry.
understanding and why I could use some help. I can't confirm this for sure, but right now with Coffee Brand Coffee,
We talking
we
about
are
the BTCH
basically
brand
completely vertically
BTCH
integrated.
today.
We roast our stuff, we pack our stuff, we print our own bags, things like that. The only thing that we were reliant on anyone else for was some of the boxes for our K-Cups and some of the procedures around that. It's our coffee, but we had someone else helping, put these boxes together so we could do all that. Well, apparently that person, I don't know this for sure, but I suspect it, saw my YouTube channel and didn't like my politics. And while we have a 20,000 K-Cup order, basically
Dude, K-Cups are fucking expensive to do and like put together. Like it is really expensive. I remember us talking about that in the beginning.
Yeah.
There are
Well,
a
here's
lot
the
of
thing.
reasons we haven't done that, but
First off, they're bad for the environment.
Sent you the
second
Twitter
off,
Jeremy crash
they're
out from last
rather
night.
expensive for the consumer per cup, depending on what you're trying to get. So with a K cup, you should be using it once. Because if you use it twice, I know our father like keeps it in there for like 4 coffee runs. So it's just now you're drinking mold. So if I'm buying a coffee, like a K cup, and I'm getting 12 K cups for like $20, that's not good. That's not great because I can make coffee for less at that point. But if you're buying it for the convenience, I understand. Nobody has time to pour over every morning.
decided to tell us, to pound sand, or I don't know what's going on. We haven't heard anything back. This is absolutely crippling.
So he put in a huge order for K-Cups, and then your manufacturer just hasn't followed through on it right now, is what it sounds like.
So if the manufacturer, so the thing we do with our coffee roasters, we have like a gentleman's agreement on, I want to buy this. He's like, all right. And he emails me and it's like, yeah, you can pick it up. It's done. We shook on it. Like that's how it works. And then I come with payment. We didn't sign a contract or anything necessarily. After a while of being with these people, you kind of just, it's like family. Like, you say Merry Christmas. You say Happy Holidays. you see them, and you wish them well, which is fine. But obviously if the contractor that he's talking about doesn't want to fulfill an order or wants to terminate the contract, if it's a contract, there must be a clause in there that says they can terminate the contract.
He would
whenever.
definitely have a contract with them.
Yeah. So if there's a contract, there's probably something saying they can terminate the contract whenever. Or if it's just a gentleman's agreement, there's, they don't like your politics, they think you're doing something wrong, they're entitled to not want to work
Tell
with
the
you.
Blaines,
Like,
Jeremy.
of course, if it comes out to our coffee roaster that, like, I'm an awful person who goes around, like, kicking over strollers because I just really hate children, and he says, I don't want to work with you, I don't want to be associated with you, yeah, he's entitled to not want to work with me. Fine.
I'm already so overextended with Coffee Brand Coffee. I feel like they knew this was the time that they could really cause maximum damage.
Okay, like that's the only reason it's
You're
causing
wrong.
so much damage right now is because of all these circumstances around it. And he's like breaking it. He's trying to break into retail space. He's like trying to do all these things at the same time.
Well,
it's like
here's the thing. I don't think it's impossible for him to do all these things at the same time. There's been times where I've had, I have to come up with these body pillows. I got to do these standees. I got to figure out how to get the coffee. I got to do this and that. I'm talking to this person and that person. There's times where it's like a heavy workload. And in those times, it's like, get an assistant. Get another person. Don't run the entire thing by yourself because you're going to get burnt out. And, why is he saying about the politics? Why would a person say to you, I'm just not believing that necessarily? I don't believe that this contractor said, hey, I saw your videos, I don't like your contracts, I'm no longer going to work with you.
He's literally saying that. He's inferring that. He's not even saying that it did happen. He's saying that's what I think happened. So he doesn't have any proof behind it.
I don't believe him at all. And also I want to remove my remark from the Coffee Brand Coffee. That was rude of me to say the name was bad. I personally don't think it's the best name, but you could do better. I just like to hold myself to a better standard, and that was wrong of me. But continue.
Solution? Well, it's to buy about $80,000 in equipment. And I didn't know what else to do. I can't miss Mother's Day. It's our biggest sale of the year. And so I said, okay, fine, put it on my credit card. We're going to just figure it out. And that's a lot of dimp to put on your credit card. And, but we're going to save Mother's Day, and we're going to bring this last piece of the puzzle in-house. We're even getting a machine to make our own coffee scrub for the ladies and guys out there that want to, do it for skincare. But anyway, to help pay for it, we've done this one other time before, and what I did was I put together.
Yeah, so he and this is what a lot of people are dogging on him for, is that he put out $80,000 on a line of credit to buy the K-Cup machines. Right?
Okay. Why are they dogging him?
Because they're saying he's bad with money.
I don't think that's a necessarily
I've definitely thing. I mean, even from like we've spent our own personal money. That's like not abnormal. I mean, that's a huge line of credit.
That's a big line, I will say.
And whether or not he's able to pay that back is going to be the determining factor on whether or not the business continues running.
Yeah.
Right? Because if he's broke, you'd have to liquidate his business.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing with that. One, you build wealth with debt, at least in this country.
Yeah, it is allegedly his personal line of credit.
Yeah. So if I don't know why he took it personal, he should do it if it's an LLC or something. He should do it for the company because there's no liability.
Yeah, I don't know where the personal line of credit thing is coming from, because I was looking this up before. Aside from what he's saying, I haven't seen anything that could say that it was that.
I think so. Let me state my personal thing on this. I think that buying a manufacturing machine for your company, which seems like it can withstand itself and have a have a factory to put this in is a good thing. Uniquely, I have actually been in a place where they do have box manufacturing, and some of those aren't that expensive. I don't know how expensive that is, but also, a lot of the box manufacturing at the place that I worked at briefly was done by hand. So it doesn't actually cost that much to make and manufacture boxes. As well, printing on boxes is, while it isn't the most easy thing to do, they have machines that aren't $80,000. So I don't understand where that figure comes from, and I would love some proof on that. Just in my personal opinion, what company is this $80,000 machine coming from? Are you getting it from overseas? Are you getting it from the States? Usually they don't make them in the States. When did you buy this? Because I'm just curious in general. But leading off of that, getting your own machine to manufacture these things is a good practice because you're going to cut down in the long run on your unit cost. So what now was a $6-7 per unit item could be $4, which is great. In the long run, you're going to be making a lot more money, and you're going to be able to pay off that $80,000, which I don't think it's $80,000, depending on what it is. He specified it was for the K cups, right?
Yes.
Like the box for the K cups. Honestly, I don't think it's $80,000. To be entirely fair, I think maybe he is bad with money, because that's. I honestly don't think it's $80,000, and whoever you got it from, you should send it back. But you could easily pay somebody.
There's some people in the chat
boxes.
that are saying that he should just sell his planes. I mean, ultimately, he could sell as much as possible, but if
he have a plane?
He has 3 planes.
He sold his Nintendo games first before his planes.
Well,
what?
His wife is a pilot. But I don't know. I mean, you can't drive more than one plane at a time.
I guess so. I just really like this one plane for night rides. I like that plane for early morning rides. I get it, because I too have a plane. I don't get it. Same thing with boats. I don't get it.
I mean, like, he can liquidate all the planes, trains, toys, or whatever he wants, but if the issue is that he's having trouble with his supply, it doesn't matter what he gets rid of. He's not going to be able to facilitate what he needs to hit Mother's Day. Like,
it's also really easy to go to a different manufacturer for boxes.
That's also another. Well, if it's like the person who puts the coffee inside the little sealed K cup things, I'm sure there's a ton of those kind of companies out there that do that. Like, I don't know.
There's actually one near me.
The way it sounds to me is it sounds like he put out his money first. He paid for the order. And now the guy is spinning his wheels, not fulfilling the order. And so now Quartering is like running around being like, why isn't my 20,000 K cups here?
The guy might have a supply line issue.
That's what it sounds like, right? Where it's like, okay, they can't facilitate the plastic for the K cups because of tariffs or because of certain sanctions from a certain country or something.
Yeah.
So the order's just all backed up.
Is he? Oh, I don't know. I wish I knew. His issue. He has too much plastic in his stuff.
Very cool.
Continue.
Founders Vault Pack. There's only 1,000 of them, and 200 of them are already gone from my live stream earlier today. It includes our freeze-dried strawberries.
Is this just an ad?
This is an ad.
Anywhere else.
This is just an ad. All right. Here's the thing. You can't get the K-Cup stuff. Pivot to something else. This happens in companies. Don't complain about it. I don't complain about it. That's astonishing to me that he's making an 11-minute video about boo-hoo. I can't get my K-Cup boxes. Aww. And I don't know what to do. Can you guys buy other coffee from me, please? I don't know. It's just I wish I had more insightful things to tell him as somebody who's
Well,
relatively
it's like,
educated
I
on
mean, a
this
lot of
topic.
this is all like, speculation and internet sleuthing, right? So it's like,
Yeah,
this is, people saying why it's his personal line of credit, right? Through like,
yeah,
yeah. And then the persons who roast his coffee, the roasters of it, are
yeah,
like a coffee roasting company,
yeah.
based out of like somewhere. But the point is that they're like a woke coffee company, because there's a lot of local coffee companies that serve a certain like area niche,
Yeah,
and then some of them are woke, and this one that he uses is actually a woke coffee company. They have like
which
the
is
pride
fine.
flag or whatever and all that stuff, right? But
Good.
it's like have you ever heard the concept of like leopards ate my face?
Yeah,
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 well, it's like they're like quartering. I thought you didn't like woke. Why are you working with woke business? They're supposed to be woke, go broke, but
yeah.
you're facilitating like all these coffee orders because of them.
With money, and I think in general, it's easy to become greedy and lose your morals. And whether or not your morals or ethics align to a certain political spectrum, I think when the sight and smell of money comes in, you kind of just stop and you say, all right, well, I believe in this one thing, and it's cheaper and easier to do this other thing. Um, I'm going to do that because it's going to make me more money. And that might be what he's doing.
Yeah,
And then
he cares about it up until a point where it comes down to the paycheck at the end of the day.
100%.
It will never be available as far as I'm planning anywhere else. You will also be the very first person to get our exclusive spring flavors, tangerine, which trust me is delicious, and
Bro is literally advertising.
Baba Booey.
Speaking of
Does he have a discount code I can
Ocean
use? I'd really
Coffee's Lavender
appreciate
Lemonade
that.
has returned with a new recipe.
I hope he says the
Don't like
discount code.
artificial color yellow 5 lane. Well, Manapot doesn't either.
Axis
Edit. They
just
ran
donated,
out. Coffee is good too.
10. It is advertising the lemonade and explaining how it doesn't have yellow 5 in it now.
It's not up on the website yet, guys.
And then,
But
he
can
said,
I?
edit, they ran out. Coffee
Yeah.
is good. Though.
If you guys want to buy the tea, I'd really appreciate that. We have tea with big mommy milkers on it. It's not selling well, I assume, because there's big tits on it. So if you could please buy the succubus tea, I'd really appreciate that. Use code MANA for 15% off your purchase. And tits, so do we ship
Plus
to
you get a-
Sweden? I do not know the there's a lot of European countries that just do not allow us to ship tea and coffee to them.
Yeah,
Germany,
there's some
they don't let
countries
us.
that they ban the import of those goods into your country. That's just, they might be either because they're trying to protect their domestic market or like because of food standards here in the
Ecosystem
States.
thing,
Or,
yeah.
free gift.
Sorry.
If I sell out of these, we can run out of stock on.
Oh my
and
God.
this could never happen again. Many people have probably noticed, hey, we've been out of stock on stuff and things are running behind. It's because of this one hiccup. But if I can convince you to give our coffee a try, which I tell you all the time, I think is the
if you're gonna convince me to give your coffee a try, probably don't advertise the $100 fucking
Show me the cheaper one and say this one's
Well,
good.
we've looked at
guys,
his coffee, and it's like what? It's like $21 for a
It's like
bag.
$20.
Yeah, $20.
There's $18 ones. Don't lead with the $100. That's a lot. Is it free shipping on the $100 order?
I sure
I'd
as
hope
fuck
it's free
hope
shipping.
so.
That's a lot of money.
best out there. If you try our spring flavors, you're going to get it before anyone else. You're going to absolutely love it. And you're going to help stick it to this stupid company that has screwed me over. And
Well, that's gonna make them.
Yeah.
That one's gonna make them really hustle to get it done, right? Like,
I kind of I kind of want to buy the coffee now.
What?
Kind of makes me. I really want to stick it to that unnamed company that really did him wrong.
Yeah, we don't know the company. We don't know what they did.
No
we don't
clue.
know the parameters of the business agreement. But you know,
don't know.
Jeremy said they're stupid in a video, and so if
I
they're
have my
watching
pitchfork
his,
ready.
if they're watching his content, why would they rush to do it now if Quartering's calling them stupid?
Yeah.
And keep me out of, hopefully out of debtor's jail or whatever. And if you don't
Debtor's
like
jail.
cops,
It's not debtor's jail. You're not going to go to federal prison for not paying back your credit card. You can file for bankruptcy, I guess, if you want. Somebody might repo your car, depending on what collateral you put up. Yeah, at that point, just sell a plane. They got to be over $80,000. I also still do not believe it was $80,000. You can hire someone to pick them for less. I can't.
coffee,
Can't. And
I
it would be
still
so much
have-
cheaper to hire like 4 people. It'd be so much cheaper to hire like 4 people for 2 months, and give them like, if you're already paying $80,000 for this hypothetical machine, which I don't think exists, pay them each like, how much? 4 people? You pay them comparable to like $20,000, not each, but in total for 2 months of work, and like tell them, hey, make this for me. Here you go. Here's a room. This is your job. Just do that, and then you're gonna be done. These people are contract workers. You don't need to have healthcare, insurance, or anything for them. You have them sign a contract, and then boom, done. You got all your stuff together, and they worked. They got their money. They left, and they're on their way. And then with this hypothetical company that screwed you over hypothetically, you still preserve whatever relationship you had with them. Because I really don't think it's because of woke. I think it's because there's probably a supply line issue with this other company. And if he's only working with American companies at this point in time, you're going to have supply line issues and you're going to have money issues. Maybe this whole thing is they told him, hey, we can't provide these boxes at $2. We have to provide them at $4 because of whatever. And he didn't like it. And now he's saying, hey, these guys don't like me because of woke. They won't work with me. There's too much speculative that he's not giving definitive answers to, that it's just, his credibility in this is just not great. And it's not a good look for him.
You know, the thing is though, and like a lot of audiences, not even just the Quartering's audience, but a lot of audiences in general will just take the creator at face value. Like, you're being very critical and thinking about it because you're, I don't know if I'd call you an expert, but you know, you're a knowledgeable person for this kind of stuff, right? So it's just like, most people don't think about that, right? I mean, the chat obviously is going to be like really critical of Jeremy because, you know, we like they don't like Jeremy.
Obviously, yeah.
But, you know, most people who watch his content are going to be like, oh man, Jeremy's in dire straits. This sucks.
of my mega mixology cookbook, which
Whoa. You can't just flip to this, buddy. Is this a real thing? Is this real?
He's selling a meme mixology book.
Okay, hold up. You can't say the company's apolitical and sell a MAGA mixology book.
Well, this
It
isn't.
says
this
MAGA.
isn't- this
I don't
isn't-
care. Both of them are still his. Both of them are still his. You can't say I'm. This is astonishing. I'm very astonished. I pardon my yelling. I can't believe he's selling a spiral bound, first off, cookbook for $35.
Spiral bound
or
is-
47.
Really?
47, really? Why is 47? Why not that?
Oh,
Why that?
God.
That's signed copies for the first 1,000 people. Let's be fair here. 1,000 people aren't gonna buy
Dude,
that.
MAGA Mixology Project 2025, dude.
Can we do that? Project 720.
White Boy
That was
Summer's back
that's
on the
really
menu.
Yo! How many pages? How many pages in this? What can I make?
I could go. Let's go click on it. Let's go take a look.
I can't wait to have my MAGA gin and tonic.
Tailgates for Trump special edition with 15 bonus recipes. What I am very
recipes?
interested to know what's in here. Ships by Easter 2025. This isn't your average drink book. It's a full-on salute to American grit and glory, packed with cocktails and mocktails that hit like a Liberty Bell.
Whoa! Whoa! Mocktails? For the... I don't know what I can say. Can I say for those sissy liberals?
Oh, God.
I keep going.
No stuffy rule book here. Just pure, unfiltered freedom in every sip. From bold, kick in the pants mixes to clean all ages refreshers. It's for patriots who know the future is theirs to seize, one glass at a time. Think heritage meets defiance, wrapped in a package that's equal parts class and sass. Either way, it's the ultimate toast to sovereignty, served up straight.
Sovereignty served up straight? That's sass and class?
Dude, it looks like
that is lovely.
It looks like a fucking rainforest cafe menu.
Yeah, it could be. It could be. It's filled with cocktails, I guess.
Shit.
Can I get it? I would love to buy this. I would love to make some of these. New Mana Potion video.
Dude, I unironically don't even, this could literally be like a 10-page book.
There has to be more in there than, because it's spiral bound. I feel like it could be like 5 pages of just really thick, like cardboard.
Or like, I don't know. Part of me is like looking at this and going, what if it's just like AI generated cocktails?
That could 100% be
You
it.
know, I feel like, I don't know, like I feel like I could be gypped if I bought this. Dude, 60
Can we look
bucks.
at the tailgate? That's a steal. $60 is a steal. I actually don't know where he's coming up with these prices because literally nothing on this page like works. Can you go back to the other page? $60 for 2 books, or if we're going with the retail price of the $60 book, so $70 for the 2 books. $70 for 2 books is is $35. I don't get it. And then the $30 for the other book, and then is that Kamala?
Yeah, this is Kamala. He's cooking up Kamala. Embark on a culinary journey that's as bold and unapologetic as your political stance with the Tailgates for Trump cookbook. This isn't just a collection of recipes. It's a movement, a gathering call for patriots who believe in the power of community, good food, and unfiltered spirit of America.
I like how only 15 people bought that. There's 985 in stock.
Yeah.
He definitely printed 1,000.
Patriotic eats from Trump Tower Zinger Burgers. So RFK's nuclear chili.
Your chili.
Have you seen that picture? It's like fake, but it's like this guy eating like, you know, this fucking guy slop in a bowl. And then somebody's like, look what RFK's eating on the Air Force One. There's like raw meat with an egg over it. Like each dish is designed to be a statement to American pride, reflecting the values and energy of the Trump campaign. Game day favorites with a twist. Tailgate classics like Pete Buttigieg, Booty Jiggling XL hot dogs in a bun. Get it? Because Pete Buttigieg is gay and he likes cock. Or the Clinton Cooler. Perfect for gatherings where the spirit of competition and camaraderie mirrors the political battleground. Dude, imagine you're serving hot dogs at a fucking like just party.
Like a barbecue.
A summer barbecue. And you're like, here you go, my male friends. Here's the Pete Buttigieg booty jiggling extra large hot dogs.
All American. Oh man, if you hand me the Clinton Cooler, I'm gonna turn it up.
Simple, crowd-pleasing recipes crafted for the everyman and woman. These recipes ensure
Gotta have that in there.
Even if you're not a chef, you can cook up a storm and make a political statement with your food and so much more. The cookbook is more than just recipes. It's a testament to blah, 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 blah. Get ready to serve dishes that not only taste great, but fuel the spirit of MAGA with Tailgates for Trump cookbook.
Can we do
Perfect for
just one
those-
review? One review.
My family loved this last year, and I'm picking up a few more. How's that possible? Isn't this for the election?
Yeah, what?
How I thought this was like, you know, like a
I refuse to
limited thing.
believe. I refuse to believe more than 15 people bought that book. There's no
His
way.
15 closest friends.
There's 985
Hold on, let's see how many people bought this
tailgates.
book. Oh wait, no,
None.
none,
None. Not yet.
not yet.
Not
We
yet.
could
He's
be
still,
the first.
He's still on the pre-order phase.
Dude, I
we
could
could be
get-
the first and last.
I could get a signed copy for $55. I'm just
Yeah,
saying.
make sure that goes to the PO box. I want to get a pipe bomb.
I'll put it on my throne. We'll see if somebody purchases it.
Yeah, somebody want to get that? I can write it off of my taxes next year. It's gonna be a fun one. Explaining to my tax man. We needed this for a video.
Link in the description down below. It's a pre-order that will be shipping around the end of April. It's hilarious. We already have almost 50 recipes done. There are like different memes of like cocktails.
Dude, 50 plus meme cocktails.
I'm excited.
Mocktails, coffee, tea drinks, summer drinks, fall drinks, but it's all got like, you know, our sense of humor and the tailgate.
This is the liberal tears cocktail.
I swear that might be
The
one of them.
Pride Month Long Island iced tea.
That's a good one. I like that one. At the Pride Month, that won't be in there. The Liberation Day Old Fashioned.
The Liberation Day Old.
It's just whiskey.
It's just whiskey. We made it in the backyard. American made. American made. It's because we can't get any of that weird stuff. That Nika whiskey can't afford that. No, no.
I really like Japanese whiskey.
I really like Japanese
really
whiskey, but
expensive.
everybody thinks I'm racist when I say what my favorite one is. We've got the Black History Month. I'm trying to think of like a black rapper. No, Haitian. I don't know. I'm something
Oh man,
racist.
you should probably stop while you're ahead.
Diesel's been working on his Trump impression. I feel like my New York accent. Proud Boys Bourbon.
That's good. He should just start making liquor. I feel like that would go well.
Well, I
is-
should also mention that Jeremy's one of his claims to fame is where. So Jeremy is a functioning alcoholic, and there was one,
Oh,
in
good
my
for him.
opinion, a functioning alcoholic. But there was one stream he did where he was gaming and he pissed in his fucking room on the floor.
Did he get up, or did it just like go into his absorbent
No, he had
gaming
like
chair?
he had like a fucking drain in his basement, and so he pissed.
That's valid.
Functioning, he
that's
pissed
kinda
in his
valid.
room. Yeah, well, Jeremy still gets up in the morning and films 5 videos. So that's more functioning than some people.
Every day?
Yes,
Damn.
they're not very
for
good,
him.
but you know he does.
No,
it.
I can tell. He started the video with like hitting his desk, so the camera was like moving. So I get it.
Oh yeah. His wife went out for pizza without him, and so he was mad and he pissed in the basement. That's the story.
Did she fly to get the pizza?
Yeah, she flew in her private airliner to get
Yeah.
pizza. I think
I
it's
just
like
imagine.
I think it's like a single propeller plane.
Yeah.
That,
These 3 of them.
planes. Yeah, I guess.
I can just imagine
It's not
him.
a
He
jet,
has like a
that's
house.
for sure.
He has like a house in the middle of the woods. There's like a dirt runway, and that's how they leave every day.
Bye, Lois.
Just a
I'm going to
plane.
get pizza. He
Brrr.
flies
He flies
Dude,
away.
it's so he's got the Peter copter.
Yeah.
For Trump, I put back on sale too to try and put money together. I just know, and if you don't like flavored coffee. We have tea. We have regular coffee. Our blueberry cobbler is really good. Our silky ultra dark roast is really good. Our 004 is good. Our Ethiopian's good.
Everything's really good.
We have something for
No
you.
negatives.
And so I'm hoping today you'll give Coffee Brand Coffee
Ethiopia,
a chance,
I put tariffs on them. I don't
to
like
help
them.
me get out in front of this.
They
a
don't
little
give
bit.
me good
I
coffee.
know once we get this equipment in the office, there's nothing stopping.
I feel like my trumpet's improved a lot. I feel like I can't do other accents because of that accent. Like I feel like I'm
Joey's
stuck.
is really good.
Dude, Joey's is so good.
Yeah.
Dude,
I beat Super Mario Sunshine. Let's
Sunshine.
Simple flips, great
good.
guy. Simple flips. Come on, I
And he
can't
did that
do
after-
the watermelon skip. I can do the watermelon
The
skip.
watermelon skip. He did that after nearly dying, so it's really good.
Coffee Brand Coffee from being in the grocery stores, maybe as soon as the end of this year. Hopefully by next year.
Oh my god, his
His
desperation for money is
making
making me feel generous.
Just not for him.
Now Steel Bones, is that $35 so that way we can purchase the MAGA Mixology cookbook?
Yes, it is. It is. It is. Steel Bones, I want to give you a big wet kiss because we are going to make a Clinton cooler. Let's go.
Dude, a Clinton cooler, and it's just that blue.
Another
ring.
$10.
Jeremy
We're gonna get the
talked
two of
about
them.
T-shirts
We're gonna get
provided
both of
from
them.
Nicaragua, with the same company whose union leaders mysteriously
man.
died.
Excited.
We'll get both of them. I'll purchase it after stream today.
Good.
You have to buy the signed edition.
And in
frame
convenience
it.
stores and things like that, we really are at an inflection point where a lot of
The
companies
Weaver
would
off
take
stream
on
celebrates
investors.
18
You
months
know,
of membership.
I've got
Hashtag
$300,000
Malongate.
almost floating right now in debt. I'm just being
So yeah,
A humble brag. Cool.
I'm
Maybe
in
your
severe-
company's not working.
I'm in severe
no,
amounts
no.
of debt. 300.
Oh my god. You're 300. How much? 350? 300.
300,000.
300,000. If you're $300,000 in personal debt, maybe your company's not working. like maybe it's I'm astonished. I can't because at that point your company just does not work. I do not understand. That's enough for a house. That's enough for 2 low quality
A
houses.
house in this
That's enough
economy.
Ah, God, yeah. It's enough for a beater. I don't know. That's enough for a new plane.
So, there you go.
To help pay for shipping, can I also get a kiss?
There's help for shipping now, and they want a kiss as well.
Good. Thank you. You
I
get
put-
one too.
There we go. I put the.
Well, thank you, Minge-matic. You understand the principle of putting a 99 after, so it seems like you're spending less. But somehow Jeremy does not. For a quick refresher, everyone, a psychological fact that most companies do is to put a 0.99 at the end of the good, because while you're in a store, makes you not know what the actual price is, and it makes you think you're spending less money.
So if
Jeremy-
we make these drinks, we're nabbing Joey's kitchen again for that, are we not?
Oh, probably. Yeah.
Okay,
Joey
because
would
now
love
I
that.
buy these. We gotta do this now. Oh.
Yeah, let's do it.
dead serious.
He actually asked if he could come on the stream. We'll have him later if he's on.
A huge stock up for Mother's Day. Now I gotta buy this machine I wasn't planning on buying. And but if we come out the other side of this, we will be
No
fully
coming out the
stocked
other
on
side.
Amazon. We'll be fully stocked on our website. We'll be fully vertically integrated. So
There's a lot of vertically integrated is something that I can't help but laugh at, just as a word, because it's very like
Yeah.
corporate business buzzword, you know.
It's just, yeah. We have a top-down structure.
We have a top-down structure.
know.
We've really optimized our ROI when we're dealing with things in our SaaS system. You know, we've really figured it out. Just integrating with Salesforce has really just helped us grow.
Salesforce.
Well, they're a SaaS company. That's the only reason it came to my mind.
Oh,
Diesel, we demand cosplays if you do a taste testing of this. Okay, well, you know what?
what cosplay?
Yeah, that's a great question.
That's a better question. What type of cosplay? We're not dressing up as Trump. I don't think Joey's parents are gonna enjoy that. They're gonna walk into their kitchen and be like, "Joey, what are you doing?" So 3 guys all dressed in Trump masks. That's not gonna go over well. Vosh and Hassan made dress cosplay. That's not happening.
We'll be able to lower
Give us
prices
made
and
outfits.
lower costs. We are doing so much. We handle our own customer service, by the way. Maggie works full time.
I hope so.
Yeah. Now he actually he gets overseas help with that.
Yeah, you guys. You know all those woke coffee companies using their slave labor for customer service. Oh my god.
Covering the customer service for our company. I take this seriously because I love this company, and I don't know why this guy did this, why this is happening now. It's literally the worst possible time with Mother's Day only 2 months away. Like, our Mother's Day gift boxes keep us for the whole year. And if I don't buy this machine, get this stuff handled.
Well, apparently not doing a good job. You're in $30,000 of
We're
debt.
gonna miss that. And I just can't do it. I can't. I could find somebody else to make the box.
Who's Mana Potion's customer service person? Literally Johnny.
And if you've sent us an email and it seems like I haven't gotten back to you, I have. Please go to your spam folder. I have push notifications on.
I literally, yeah, I have push notifications on too. I see every email Johnny sends. Okay, he's like literally answering it at like 1 a.m. whenever you people send your fucking emails. Okay,
if you send me an email in the middle of the night, it wakes me up, and I answer. I try my best.
But they're still going to be 5 or 6 weeks out, and then I could still run into the same problem later. So I think this is basically the last piece. We're actually moving into a new building where I'm going to make a storefront where people can walk in and get.
Dude, they're gonna. Okay, I think I'm beginning to notice why Jeremy's having solvency issues.
Yeah, he's having a storefront. Okay, so So he's moving into a building with a storefront. We got to think about this. Logistically, if you're having a storefront, I don't know how business savvy he is, but if you're having an office with a storefront, you're moving in. I don't know if he thinks he has to buy the building, because that's like a few million.
Coffee, which I think.
But I don't know how he's like afloat, because clearly if he's $30,000 in debt, he's not turning a profit.
Oh my god.
I just don't understand. Or maybe he is. I would love to sit down with him and look at the books. Maybe he's laundering money, because if I was in his situation, how could you not? You have to be doing something. Like,
holy shit.
I don't know how he's not, but I don't know how he's not there crying. If I was $30,000 in debt, I'd be crying.
$300,000. $300,000.
Oh, sorry, pardon me. It's still so much money. It's more than a life-changing amount of money. That's like 5 years of work for some people. that is so much money.
Would be really awesome. That should be open later this year, and I have no interest in opening up coffee shops, but maybe a couple of pop-up shops where it's available would be cool. But I am reaching out, hoping, asking for you to pick up this pre-order Founders Vault Pack. I'll be signing everything all night tonight. And if you don't like flavored coffee, you can just go to shop and you can go to coffee or K cups. And we have all of our, double calf. We have decaf. We still have some gingerbread coffee available. That's 50% off.
That's from Christmas, bro. Oh my god.
Because his coffee doesn't sell.
Dude, it's like minimum
Alright.
it was like packaged for shipping in December, probably like roasted in like October, which I guess is still fine, but I guess it's determined on how much the flavoring impacts the quality of the bean over a long period.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
Oh, he's doing
Wait, so
math.
he has 13. He has 13 different types of coffees on his website. And from what I'm hearing, he doesn't have a really good turnover rate. And as well, from what I'm hearing, he does lots of large batches of manufacturing coffee. So to make a comparison, for us and him, for us, we usually don't have coffee sitting in storage for more than 3 months. It's probably rare that you get coffee that's more than 3 months old. It happens. It does happen sometimes. The last 3 months have been kind of meh. It's the beginning of the quarter. It was the beginning of the year. But they picked up. They picked up last month, which is good. But the thing with coffee is, depending on what the packaging is and what you're doing, it can go stale a little bit. But also, he has so many types of coffee that me as a consumer, I don't know what to purchase. So when I look at his website, I get a little frazzled. He has multiple things to go through. When I press shop, there's coffee, K-cups, cocoa, tea, cold brew, premium stacks, gear, gift boxes, gift cards, reviews. All right. So I'm coming here for coffee. I click on the coffee, and there's a lot of stuff happening. This is a little intimidating, a tad bit. There's so much coffee. There's so much I have to look at. But also, he has so much and so many different types of coffee sitting in a warehouse that I don't know when it's been roasted. And I don't know how long it's been sitting there. And I'm just a little skeptical of the quality of coffee I'm getting. And this isn't a dig at the wholesale manufacturer of the coffee or the roasters themselves, because I'm sure the coffee tastes great. But the issue is how it's being stored and where it's being stored. Because I don't know what the inside of his warehouse looks like. I don't know if it's climate controlled. I don't know if he's like keeping it in whatever. But I'm just skeptical of that. I just very skeptical. I wonder if his coffee has manufacturing dates on them. If you look at the bottom of our bags,
I
there
do
is
believe
manufacturing dates on them.
I bought Coffee Brand Coffee once for a stream like a year ago, and
Yeah.
at that time they did list when it was roasted, and it was about like it was about like an average length of time you'd expect for it to sit in there. It wasn't like outrageous. It wasn't anything over like 8 months or something like that. And
Yeah.
Part of the coffee science by why you don't want coffee sitting there for a while is this, right? So when coffee is roasted, it releases these oils, right? And those oils are where the flavor comes from, right? And you get all those beautiful, wonderful flavors when you roast the coffee and you taste it and you drink it in your cup, right? So it sits for some time, and then right after it's roasted, it's like okay, but you want it to kind of like percolate inside the bag and some of the oils to leak out, so that way you can maximize like the flavor, right? So when you have coffee sit there for a really long time, it'll start to oxidize, right? The oil will mix with the oxygen that's inside the bag, and as a result, the beans won't taste the freshest, right? To the point where they could taste sour because they've been sitting there so long, but they have to sit there for a really long fucking time, right? But the peak freshness of the coffee will go down over a long period of time. And depending on the type of packaging and how you store it, the quicker that it's going to deteriorate, right? So he has like a bunch of plastic containers and all that stuff, right? That stuff will be shelf stable for longer, right? But if he's holding it for a really long time, it's not going to matter whether or not it's shelf stable for longer or not, because those aren't vacuum sealed bags. There's still oxygen in it, right?
Yeah.
And the coffees will release oxygen as they sit there. That's why you buy a bag of coffee and there's like these holes on the back, and then you squeeze it and like air comes out, right? Because the coffee beans will actually produce air that you need to press out, or the bag's not going to close down, right? That's why these are here. That way the bag doesn't pop open, by the way.
Right now we have our cold brew coffees, which is really good. We have everything in K-Cup form.
Wait, what? Why is he selling cold brew coffee? Is that cold brew whole bean? Because cold brew is like a method of
It's like a
like
ground.
a method of extraction, right? So it's just like,
Well, no. They're
Well,
cold brew bags.
they're cold brew bags. Okay, so they're like
Yeah.
prepackaged bags. Yeah, because I was gonna
They're
say
prepackaged bags.
like you could make cold brew right now without like a packaging. It does take time.
Yeah.
Well, those
I actually
packages will
make-
still take. You'll still have to wait. So it's just you could just
Yeah,
do
it's
it.
easier.
Yeah.
I actually make cold brew with our coffee all the time. It's really good. I do suggest a Bard's Ballad. This is a plug, but I do enjoy that one. It may be because we got somebody that returned a bunch of Bard's Ballad, and I've had like 5 bags. But that, yeah.
Warm strawberries and cream, blueberry cobbler.
Guys, buy the K cups that I can't sell right now.
Yeah, why? I don't understand why he's doing that.
all this stuff. We have something for everyone on coffeebrandcoffee.com, and I'm hoping you can help me stick it to this guy and just no more relying on anyone else. Lesson learned. Hopefully, I mean, this will
Hey,
cover
guys,
a chunk of it. A nice
I just want to, be open with you. My friend William is actually trying to destroy my company, and I need you to stick it. I want to stick it to him. So can you guys buy all the coffee we sell? Because he's just trying to destroy my company. For all these reasons. I can't even get into them now. It's not enough time. But you just really got to stick it to him by putting money in my pocket and buying these things.
Oh my god.
chunk of it, and once Mother's Day comes around, I'll be able to pay off all the rest of it. Or if we sell a bunch of Trump books, but those are supposed to be for the studio. So literally the worst time imaginable to have this happen. And you guys have all been so helpful and thoughtful and supportive with all my various endeavors over the year. Some of them worked, some of them didn't work, but the coffee
None of them
company
work. You're
is working.
$300,000 in
any
debt.
investors. We want to do this ourselves, but I can't do it without your help. And I sincerely hope you'll consider picking up this Founders Pack, which will be linked in the description. Or if you just go to coffeebrandcoffee.com, it's right on the
This
homepage.
entire video is just him begging.
I don't get it. It's just an ad. And he just glossed over. He has not talked about the guy that wronged him. He glossed over the guy that wronged him and made 9 minutes of him plugging his coffee and tea. There's no substance. He was like, "Oh man, I gotta have a video out at 3 p.m. What am I gonna complain about? I don't know. Let's just plug the coffee for 11 minutes." I don't get it.
Or picking up something. Support small business. We really, we're about a dozen employees, and we really care. We care about you. We care about our coffee. We care about our organic teas. If you're not a coffee person, we have organic teas available. We have something for you.
Organic teas? That sounds kind of woke to me personally.
It's really woke.
Yeah.
And then remember us around Mother's Day. All of our gift boxes will be available on Amazon, so you can get them free next day shipped. Making less money, but it's about expanding the reach of us. I'm taking this very seriously, and we've come so far exclusively because of all of
You
you.
gotta stop making less money, buddy.
Oh,
You gotta tighten up those buckle straps. You are way out of your depth, bro. I am. Ooh, I'd hate to be your accountant.
And I wanted to reach out one more time and see. We've got about 800 of these founders packs left, and that's it. Please pick one up today. And if
he's doing okay, I gotta listen. We've learned a lot from doing pre-orders. All right, we've learned a lot.
Yeah. I'm sorry, everyone. just want to apologize. Sometimes those pre-orders don't get out as quickly as they should.
There's like no like playbook on like how you do that, right? So like
No,
I remember. Well, yeah, but the first time we did it, we bought the stock first and then did pre-orders, right? And that was like infinitely worse because now we're like, great, we have leftover stock. What the fuck do we do with it?
Well, here's the thing. The first time we did pre-orders, and did I just die?
No, you're still on.
No, the first time I did pre-orders in quotations, I ordered a stock of you and a stock of Mishi, but it was very apparent that you sold out first, and then I still had a bunch of Mishi pillows from way back when.
Yeah, but the point being is like if you don't manage like demand well enough, you'll end up with a bunch of supply left over.
100%.
Right?
100%.
So if he has these all set and ready and he has 800 of them, if he's not like, you know,
he's not going to sell 800.
He's not going to sell 800.
What I do for pre-orders now that I know how to do things is I buy 25% of what the projected sales are going to be up front, have them shipped to me, and then I do the pre-orders. So by the time the pre-orders are done, like the full week of pre-orders, I usually have, or at least know, that 25% of whatever will be in my hands at some point soon. And then I'll order the rest of what I know I need after the pre-order is done. And that's a better way to manage it. You'll lose some money on shipping because you're doing 2 orders, but it's the consumer, you guys will be less annoyed at me, and I won't be up at 3 in the morning answering emails and then having a panic attack because I let someone down. But also, he's like in debt, so I really don't understand why he's making so many. He should make less and then be like, make more after. Or I just don't understand. I mean, yeah, a lot of companies that are doing manufacturing for themselves, I learned this firsthand at working at a factory, will do pre-orders like this, like he's doing. So they'll make 1,000 units, and then when they don't get sold, they will put the rest of them on sale after for like however much off. But this guy can't afford to have stuff sitting for that long because of literally not being able to afford it. So it would be better in his, you know, market to underproduce and fully sell out, and then next year be like, okay, I know I can make 500 units. Let me this year do 750 and see what happens. Because clearly last year we sold out so quickly. Or if, you know, he's making 500 units this year, he sells out, or he's making 500 units this year, he doesn't sell out. Clearly next year, hey, I'm not going to make that much. Or hey, the company grew. I'm going to do it again and see what happens. But 800 is a lot.
Well, it was originally, he said it was 1,000, so he sold 200 of them, he said.
He only sold 200 of them.
Yes, and most of it's direct to consumers, so he's advertising directly to his audience.
Yeah. If he only sold 200 of them in how long? When are these coming out? Early April?
Predating Mother's Day.
I really don't know if that's going to sell 800 of them by Mother's Day. But who knows? I don't know his you know, cost per unit. I don't know his unit price on these, and I don't know how much he can put a sale on it for.
Like the flavored
just-
coffee,
I don't
then
know.
there's a bunch of other stuff you can get. Although I highly recommend this. Maggie and I and my wife worked very, very hard dialing this flavor in, multiple iterations. The freeze dried strawberries are ridiculously delicious too, and they'll all
Why
be
is he doing
signed.
that too?
I don't know.
Who am I to say? I sell body pillows.
Those are glass houses.
Yeah.
Numbered, and they're going to ship in early April. So it's only a couple weeks and you'll have it. And you'll get it before anyone else, our new spring flavors, which are ridiculously good. Thanks so much for always being there for me.
Oh my god, this entire thing was just him advertising, dude.
He's you gotta keep watching. He's gonna get back to the books.
If you don't like coffee, you can pick up the Mega Mixology book.
Yeah.
And I will not talk about coffee at all tomorrow. Okay, I won't talk about it, but I just figured I'd make a dedicated video.
You can't say
I'm
that
kinda running
the
out of
company's not
options.
political and have a video where you both talk about the company and a MAGA mixology. There's
Well, okay.
you can't.
Not to be the wokey, but
Go
every
for it. Go for-
time
be the wokey.
every time somebody's like, this is an apolitical business, it's them dog whistling, this is a right-wing business. which is fine. I don't think there's a fucking problem with that, right?
No.
But that's how you advertise to people on the right. They're annoyed that there's woke DEI politics and everything. So you say, we don't do that here. We just sell you the product, right? We don't do any of that woke shit here. We just sell you the thing. That's
Yeah, but by bringing attention to the we don't do the woke shit here, you're being political.
yeah. Like I don't really feel like Maniposha coffee is political at all.
It's not, because
Right.
I've always attested that it will not take a stance on politics. But here's the thing. I don't tell people about that. I don't
it's
go
not-
and
It's not
gaslight
a part,
everyone.
It's not a part of our marketing at all. That's not
No,
like part
no,
of
not
the
at
strategy at all. But when you make it a part of your strategy, that's when you're like, okay, like you know who you're selling to, right?
Yeah.
Like if I was going to market coffee to people on the right, that's exactly what I would do, right?
100%.
Like-
That's what I would do.
Like it's either that
hate
or you
this.
lean into the like it's a very manly product thing.
Guns. Black Rifle.
Black Rifle coffee is one. Death Wish coffee is one. No, I think Death Wish is kind of a little woke, but like, you know, it's like
their coffee's okay.
I'm not a huge fan, but like, you know, the idea is like, oh, there's a skull and crossbones, and it's like really
Yeah.
That's the whole fucking thing with it, right?
Pirate
Hope you
coffee. We
enjoy-
should come up with pirate coffee.
Pirate coffee.
hmm
If you did enjoy, understand, but we'll talk to you again real soon.
And that was the whole video.
Who's-
Nancy Pelosi.
What? Why?
I don't know. She woke. Nancy Pelosi
Okay.
woke. Yeah. So so there were a few things, right? Like Quartering was getting shit because the coffee manufacturer is actually like
Woke.
like a woke coffee business. Yeah. Hold on.
Oh, Reddit post. Here we go,
I
guys.
gotta write a post. Yeah, so I don't know. I feel like part of me, I think the way Jeremy is advertising it, it sounds like he roasted it himself, or like with a team of 12, he and his
No.
team roast it, right?
He
But
said he
he's-
packages it.
He's very particular about the wording, right? And I think you and I were able to pick up on that it isn't him who's packaging it or him who's roasting
He
it.
said he's packaging it. He's not roasting it himself.
Yeah, so
I
like
can believe-
I was able to be like, okay, yeah, I get what he's saying, but I also understand why an audience would be like feel like they're being misled, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because, you know, the coffee roaster is a roaster from Salt Lake City and yada yada, and they work with the Quartering, and they're the people who actually roast the coffee,
Yeah.
right?
Hypothetically, they could send him big pound bags and he could put it together himself, like put it into bags himself.
Yeah.
But roasting it, I think that might be them. It is them. Let me
Yeah.
just say, because he's saying he's packaging it himself. That could mean a few things. That means he could either be getting the bag and then putting it into the 12-ounce bags. Okay. Or that means he could be putting it in the package that you purchase and shipping the package off to you.
Mm-hmm.
So there's different ways of saying it that are, it's like double speak. Like you're saying something, but you mean something else.
Yeah.
That is what it is.
So there's a few things that I think are questions maybe not the audience here would ask, but just in general. And so I think it's good to like demystify these things and explain them for the sake of so people can understand and be like, conscious consumers, right? Of like everything,
Mm-hmm.
right? So when people are talking about like so people would say, "Oh, coffee brand coffee is actually this other coffee. Why don't I just buy that coffee?" So I know that like, this Mill Creek Coffee Roasters isn't going to be able to
Yeah.
have the kind of reach that coffee brand coffee is going to have. So you and
Of
I
course.
both understand that it makes sense for them to sell coffee wholesale to coffee brand coffee because it'll help them reach a market they wouldn't reach otherwise. That's why businesses do it, right?
Yeah.
But
It's wholesale.
sometimes, or I think people say I don't like that because I want to pay for what I'm asking for. But they kind of word it as like, I don't like drop shipped products. When I think it's more like, I don't like products that are not
Commodore Chomp
good
celebrates
quality
13
and they
months
tend to
of
be drop
membership.
shipped.
Hamburger emoji.
Yeah, well,
quarter pounder.
drop
Chips
shipped
emoji.
items.
Chips emoji.
I'll go into the drop shipping thing.
Yeah,
Drop
that's a
shipped
lot that I
items.
just threw on you.
Yeah, there's a lot here. Drop shipped items. Let's go through this a little bit at a time. Drop ship items specifically, for me, mean a few different things. If I'm getting a good from somebody at a fair price and it's kind of drop shipped, they didn't really do anything to it. I'm fine with it. I don't really care. But if I'm getting an item from somebody that is, let's say, drop shipped, which I'll explain in a minute, and it's a bad price and I'm getting scammed, then I care. What a drop shipped item is I don't have the product in hand, and I ship it off to you. You go to my website that was probably pre-built from someone else. They're selling it. They're selling me the website for whatever reason. You purchase my item, it gets shipped to you. I never had it in my hands. That's drop shipping. And I didn't do anything innovative with the item that made you want it more. And you could get this item from, say, Amazon for a cheaper price. Or another form of dropshipping, in my opinion, which it could be debated, is people who have the item in hand. They make TikTok posts about it saying, "Oh, this is so good. Look at my fidget spinner. Nobody else has this fidget spinner." When in reality, everyone does. They make videos about it. They're kind of gray face. You don't know what they look like. They have the AI voice talking in their video. They're posting a bunch on like 12 different TikToks, talking about how their fidget spinner is the best fidget spinner and how you should buy it. And it's trendy, and people are going to websites and buying it, and they have it in their house, so it's not drop shipping. That's drop shipping too, in my opinion. This good that they're selling, you can get somewhere else for cheaper. They haven't done anything innovative to change it up and sell it to you and market it to you. They're just using this like marketing strategy of, okay, I'm gonna look like I'm a real business. Oh man, I have all these TikTok videos about it. Okay, I'm making sales. All right, fine, do whatever you want. But in the Quartering's case here, where he goes to a roaster, puts his private label on it, and says, "This is coffee branded coffee." That's not drop shipping. Because, well, first off, if that was drop shipping, all coffee would be drop shipped. I'm getting it from a farm somewhere else. Somebody's roasting it, and boom, that's drop shipping. It's not. But in his case, he came up with a different flavor, or he probably worked with them to come up with a different type of roast or flavor, whatever mix. He's doing something innovative to the coffee to change it up, and he's making it better. He's doing something different. I don't know how the coffee tastes. I'm not going to say it tastes bad, of course, because I haven't had it. Is it a little expensive? Sure, that's fine. It doesn't really matter. But say he has like a single origin coffee and it's $20 from him, but if I were to order it from these people, it's 15. If I know who these people are, I'll probably go to them first because it's cheaper. But if I really want to support the Quartering and I really like the brand and I really love the marketing, I'll go to him. That's not drop shipping. He's done something innovative to it to change it up. And it's a very common practice. I mean, all these other companies, companies do this. It's a wholesale manufacturing. Like, we'll talk about this later, I'm assuming, at some point. But, we're going to start selling tea strainers. I'm going to plug the company. But we're going to start selling tea strainers. But here's the thing. I can't really do much to a tea strainer to make it innovative. Like, it's a tea strainer. What am I going to do? Laser engrave the logo onto it? Okay, I could do that. But at the same time, that cost is going to get put down to you. And I don't really want to do that to you. So if we're selling a tea strainer, you could probably get this tea strainer somewhere else. And if you can get it somewhere else for cheaper, do it. Obviously, that it's going to take a hit from me. But I'm selling it at a fair value, which won't be an issue for some people. But yeah, I would consider that drop shipping.
Up to $4
and I'm not
in
going
the
to say like
experience
I'm
Nova fund.
immune to it. Yeah, it's drop shipping. The acrylic standees that we sell, that is not drop shipping because it is innovative. Obviously, someone else can go to the same wholesale manufacturer and purchase standees that they can sell. But do they have the art that we have? No. Do they have the license to the art? No. In general, after this long talk, I do not think his drop shipping. Do I think the words he says are a little misleading? Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, and this comes up, right? Because YouTubers will sell an item and it's like a private label item where they've either repackaged it, changed the branding on it, made it a different product and targeted it to a different group of people, right? Like the guy who roasts our coffee, John, is targeting a completely different demographic of people than us, right? Is that an accurate way to describe? Like, we have different business plans, right?
100%. It's a different business.
Yeah, it's a different business, right? So that's like he liked the idea for Mana Potion Coffee, and he was like, "Sure, let's do this.
Let's do it." Yeah.
But he would never reach any of you people because that's not what his business is doing, right?
Yeah.
Like, the reason that Mana Potion reaches you people is either because you, for some reason, are absolutely obsessed with me for some reason, or you really like D&D coffee and teas, and you're really into tabletop or goblins for some reason.
Yeah, some odd reason.
Right. So it's like it's targeting something else, right? So like this coffee what's really funny about this is that these guys would never reach a conservative customer if it was 100%. Them, because they're woke. But because of the Quartering, their coffee reaches a conservative customer, right?
And they're probably making bank.
It's probably a really good deal for them.
Yeah. Are they sad? No.
Yeah, it's like the Quartering might even be, one of their biggest wholesale clients, like,
yeah,
We don't know the kind of volume that the quartering moves. But to go back to, so YouTubers do this branding stuff, and then they resell the product, and maybe they sell it for more, right? And so I think what a lot of people get frustrated about is that the item they're buying is more expensive than that item they could get somewhere else. So for example, Pokimane gotten a lot of shit a long time ago because she sold cookies.
Cookies.
Right? The cookies. You remember when I talked to you about the cookies thing, right?
I remember the cookies. They were just literally they were just other cookies in a different package.
Yes. But the implication from the internet was that she should have like come up with her own cookies or something and sold those and then not sold them for too much. Now I do believe that the cookies were overpriced, right? I think that's
100%.
yeah. But like some of the like asks of her were like, why didn't she make her own cookies? Why are these cookies in disguise? And it's just like, guys, I'll be frank. I'm sure my brother could be more elaborate in this description. I don't know if you've been in America recently, but manufacturing is very expensive. There's this Dave Chappelle's skit where he's like, Trump just says things. He says we're gonna take the jobs from China. We're gonna bring them over here. He's like, why? So iPhones could be $9,000. He's like, I want to make Nikes. I want to wear Nikes, not wear them or not make them. Jesus,
Yeah,
I'm
not
fucking up the Dave Chappelle, but
let me tell you guys about our economy, the American economy.
yeah, okay. So somebody is saying she marketed the cookies as something different than what they were. And I mean, ostensibly, yeah, that's all
Okay,
private label stuff.
I have an issue with the Pokimane cookies. I hope you know. I think that was a little immoral of her, or ethically dubious.
Well, they were outrageously expensive.
Yeah, that's the issue. They're outrageously expensive for the same thing. And was she outwardly telling? I'd like to think John sells to Jim Bro. That's funny. I did she go publicly and say, "These are these cookies"?
The marketing from it was that they were healthier. But really, anytime somebody markets something as like being health, it's just like using different marketing speak to sell something, right? Because I could say like, this protein bar is full of protein. It's really healthy. Have you guys ever gone to a store and you like pick up a peanut bar? It says it's a protein bar. It's got like 9 grams of protein in it. And you're like, what the fuck?
That's not a protein
bar.
Right?
But they're advertising it like it's a protein bar, right? And there's a lot of stuff like that happens.
Yeah.
But you were talking about them being expensive.
They're too expensive, and she didn't do anything necessarily innovative to the good. So a cookie and coffee are different because coffee you can only do but so much to innovate it, to change it up. So coffee, depending on what farm I go from, what place I get it from, what country it's from, it's different. So if I go to farm A in country A, it's going to taste different from farm B in the same country. So if I get a Mexican coffee and it's from the same region, but 2 different coffee farms, they might be slightly different in taste. So that's different from Pokimane going to this factory being like, hey, yo, let me get some of those cookies, but put them in this bag. And they're like, all right, well, that's not going to cost us a lot of money to do. So here you go. And then she upcharges them. That's bad. She could, depending on what company it was, have added something in some regard. Fucking anything. I don't think she can change up the recipe too much because depending on what and how many she's getting. They're not really going to change everything for her. But go to somebody else at that point. Search for somebody else. She's Pokimane. I'm pretty sure she could have done that. Or could have hired somebody to do that. Isn't she like a millionaire?
Yeah. She's super
She
rich.
can do that. Yeah, she can do that. There's so much stuff you can do with cookies that it's just do something else. There are tons of people who have companies or sell products, tons of YouTubers that sell good products. If you know Ryan Trahan at all, he has the Joyride candies, and he came up with this candy. He's like, I want to make a candy that's slightly healthier for you. And he did. And it's not prepackaged stuff that other people have made. He came up with his own candy and got it manufactured. So this is 100% possible to do. And if you haven't gotten Joyride candy, you should. It's actually pretty good. They sell it in Target, depending on whether or not you're boycotting Target right now.
Midstream sponsored by.
Depending on whether or not you're boycotting Target right now, get it there or his
I
website.
just think of Tom's
They're pretty okay.
shop speech
They're
in
pretty
the
good.
third book, Del Toro
And there's not a lot of sugar.
whenever I see cases like Milk Creek and Coffee Brand Coffee.
Somebody Steel Bones.
Yeah, the TTS was just going off.
Oh.
Boy, I don't know what that is. Oh, yes. KJ was saying in the chat how Oompaville almost went bankrupt trying to make his own candy because he didn't want to do what Pokey did.
L.
Because, yeah, he was doing like gummy candies from what I remember.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Not every company is going to work out well. Within the first year, like half of new companies fail.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we have an example of a company that worked, Joyride, and we have an example of a company that didn't. Oompaville didn't work. L. Pokimane took a slightly easier road, literally prepackaging something else. And of course, she got a physical product out. But did people like it? No, so she stopped doing it.
Yeah,
right,
I
failed
think
too.
I think the Sour Boys candies are still around. That's the one that Oompa is doing. But like when it first started, it almost like bankrupted him, right? But that's
Yeah.
like, you know, there's a high startup cost to like doing something like that, right? So like it makes sense if he's
Mana
trying to
Potion
do...
Coffee. Yeah. Mana Potion Coffee has been running since 2022. We started selling in 2023, though. Somebody asked.
Yeah, Chad is saying he was scammed, which like,
Really?
you know, it could happen.
Happens.
Yeah, it could happen. Rough start due to a scammer. Because, you know, I mean, like, let's just say that's what's happening with the quartering, right? You know, that shit happens. But I will say, if that is what happened, that guy made off like a fucking bandit.
Oh, God.
Okay, so I think that explains the like whole fucking like white label shit, right? Like obviously we're like really open about the fact that we like work with John and all that stuff because we really like working with him and we think he's a nice guy. So it's just like,
Yeah,
you know, and like what's the point of us being dishonest about it, right? Like,
yeah. And here's the thing: if you look at any of our teas, our lavender lemonade, anything, if you look at the back, there is a manufactured by. And you can go to their website and buy from them if you don't want to buy from us. And that's fine. I will say, for the lavender lemonade, we're cheaper than them. I make sure to put it cheaper than them. For the tea, you actually can't buy that type of tea from them. But
yeah, I was gonna say there's like a lot of specificity with the teas.
There's a lot of you can buy tea from the other company, and their tea is pretty good. I actually have some of it up on my wall right now.
But it is not the exact same tea.
It's not the exact same tea. But like one of them is the same tea, but
I handle the coffee. I don't know the tea stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, like that, I figured, like a lot of, I don't know. I just, when I was watching and seeing the discussions about the Quartering's coffee company, I see a lot of stuff that's like kind of just like not understanding like how like the whole pipeline of
It's how business works.
business
Yeah.
works, right? There's just a lot of stuff you buy. It's like, oh, I want to buy from the people who manufacture it, right? Well, it's kind of fucking way harder than you
You're
think
gonna
it
go
is to do
to
that.
you're gonna buy from China at that point. You're gonna call up. I have some lovely people in China I like talking to. They said happy birthday to me. The people that make the body pillows. They know my birthday. They know my birthday. I never told them. How do they know? I don't know. But it's all right. She said happy birthday. She's lovely. Do I know her name? Not at all. But she's lovely.
Oh my god.
If you go far enough down the pipeline, your supply chain, you're probably going to end up back at China at some point.
There's always gonna be, no matter how American made or like single manufactured it is, there's always somebody else. Okay, because nobody is
There's
a
always somebody
whole
else.
like they do it all themselves. Nobody exists like that.
Yeah, and nobody. I don't have a wealth of iron I'm sitting on to make steel. So obviously I have to buy from somewhere else. And necessarily, is the steel from the US going to be cheaper than the steel from, I don't know, Canada? Or aluminum's probably better. They have a lot of aluminum. I don't know. Do I even have the steel in America? Do I have the aluminum in America? Oh no, where am I going to get it? Somewhere else. Oh my god. I'm too
Well,
ingrained in politics.
that's where the I mean, we keep making jokes about it, but I guess that's where the tariffs discussion comes in, because it's like, buddy, it just, the fucking supply chain doesn't work like that.
When somebody who's a multimillionaire comes up to you and says, and it starts talking about tariffs and says it's a bad thing, and they're like really old, yeah, you know it's a bad thing. You know it's a bad thing. I had that happen to me. And I was like, oh man. I was like, oh man. Well, he's old. He knows what's going on, and he's very rich. All shoes are gonna go up in price. Yeah. And here's the thing. Coffee has went up in price. You got John, our coffee roaster, every time I walk in there, he keeps asking me when I'm gonna raise the price. He says, You're gonna start losing money if you keep selling at $14.99. And I say, I ethically can't change it. So our decaf coffee has gone over double digits. And I'm still selling it at $14.99. Am I taking a hit? A little bit. Am I making a profit? A little bit. The other coffee that we sell is fast approaching double digits, which is not good either. A lot of this is brought on by political pressure, tariffs, and otherwise being pushed down to me, being pushed down to John, being pushed down to me, and despite me despite me,
there's very clearly a lot of
should.
pressure to put that onto the consumer. Yeah, like,
Yeah, there's so much pressure to put it onto consumer. Even John is telling me, hey, you should probably raise the price of this, or hey, maybe you should, not have decaf on your website for a little bit, because we should probably ride this out. But I'm not going to do that. I'm as most business students are. I'm a business student, fresh-faced and ethical, and I took all these ethics classes, and I want to be good to the consumer until one day they wrong me in some way, and I have to make an 11-minute and 26-second video about how the wolf mind virus is destroying me, and how we have to get William because he's trying to ruin my company. But yeah, no, it is raising the price of everything. Stuff that cost me $2 less last year is now costing me $2 more this year. per unit as well, which sucks.
Yeah, I think I see a lot of people like, obviously they're like worried and they're joking, but like holy shit, is it actually like a real thing? I'm certain that it might not have yet, but I think as time goes on, we're gonna start seeing a lot of goods in stores get raised, especially on stuff.
Goods are.
Yeah. But coffee is very, very affected by these kind of things because coffee is roasted at very high altitude, or coffee is grown at high altitudes, not roasted, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, the mountains of Mexico, Nicaragua, Ethiopia, high altitude places, right? All these places have fucking tariffs on them. All right. So the imports that we bring, and by the way, okay. So here's the second part of this story with the quartering is that this journalist who primarily talks about clothing, but has started to talk about walkable neighborhoods.
What? Why? Well, good for him, I guess.
Yeah. So this guy the quartering is pro tariff.
Why?
Because it'll make America great again.
It won't. Or whatever. Here's the thing. I actually learned about tariffs. That's crazy. I actually learned about tariffs. There's a lot of reasons you might want to put a tariff on a country, whether or not be political or not. But usually it's down to the good of the country in some regard. But the issue with tariffs is you're going to piss someone off in some way. Or you're going to force another country to not go to you. So an example we had in class, the class I learned about tariffs in, was if country A is producing goods, should country A export those goods to country B or C? Now, country B doesn't have any tariffs on them, like import tariffs, but country C does. Now, what country should country A send them to?
B.
Yeah, the one without tariffs. Crazy. Now, country A is probably having a tariff on that country, or having a tariff on countries in general, because they're trying to bolster the economy in some regard. They're trying to, prop up their manufacturing power, in some regard. Or say if I forgot what the name is, but if I'm having a tariff on specifically steel, or I'm having a tariff that only affects steel past a certain tonnage that a ship brings in, I'm trying to encourage manufacturing in my specific country for whatever reason. But the issue with America, and this is a very uniquely American issue currently, is that we are a service economy. So the thing we mainly work on is, hey, I built some code. Here you go. This is whatever code that does whatever. Or hey, we do taxes or whatever. We
We do
made this tax
taxes.
software we're gonna export. We do taxes. Or hey, we're a business like management.
We're a vertically
company
integrated SaaS company
Yeah.
serving the global economy,
But in a lot of America, you're not seeing a lot of manufacturing power, which in some ways is bad. Yeah. In some ways it's good. It's good because we used to at least live in a globalized market where I would make something in my country and send it over the sea to your country and all these other things. But what we're seeing now is that the leaders of the United States at least, want to bring in more manufacturing jobs in America. But here's the thing. I'm gonna have my master's in business administration. Are you gonna fucking see me working an assembly line? The fuck am I? Am I qualified for that? I feel like I'm a little overqualified for that. I feel like that doesn't fit my skill set for some reason. It's just that I have an inkling that doesn't fit my skill set. I don't understand that. I don't get it. I wish I did, and I wish I did. I really did. I really do, and I really wonder who. I do not understand. Do not understand.
Yeah, it also takes a long time to build factories, so I don't know.
We're gonna go through a fucking depression because there's no fucking factories. Where are we gonna have factories?
Did you see?
You ever play Minecraft? You ever play Minecraft and you just started so you don't have a house and you're like, I want to build a good house. I'm gonna build a dirt hole and have a bunch of chests in that. Is that what we're gonna do? Are we gonna manufacture in dirt holes or just outside? Is that what we're gonna do? I haven't built my house in Minecraft yet, so I'm just gonna have this little hole with a crafting table and a double chest. Is that what I'm doing? Because I feel like that's what we want to do. Are we gonna just stand outside with tables with our buddies with a conveyor belt going around as I build little Lego bricks to make whatever fucking thing I have that I'm gonna buy from the company store because that's literally the only place I'm gonna be able to buy from. I can't wait to live in my shanty town in the next year because I can't fucking afford to have a house, heating, or anything else.
Oh my
God.
god. I got a book I gotta send you. You're a physical book, Andy. Never mind. Oh my god.
I do read physical books.
Ah, this guy.
Because God forbid, I hate this. They changed on Kindle. They changed
I know.
the book.
I'm so glad
the
that I
book
switched away from Kindle to Kobo, and I was able to take all my books off the Kindle and put them onto the computer before I lost the ability to do that. But yeah, I got a thing. I'll send it to you.
Yeah.
Or I guess I'll have to buy you a physical book.
I'll take that. I like physical books.
But
Thing is, and we can't like have these teenagers working in the factory.
But their hands are so small, it'll fit just well in the machines.
It'll fit just well. I
We'll
can't
pay them $1 a day, and they'll buy our goods.
Yeah.
And then I'll buy
That's
up all
what
the
we're gonna
land,
do.
and then there'll be a serf underneath me.
We should go back to that because that was good. Nobody really had issues.
Yeah, they didn't really have a voice to.
Love with Trumpvilles.
We're gonna bring back Hoovervilles and call
I
them
actually
Trump-
applied
Wait.
at Lockheed Martin.
We're gonna
They
bring
did
back
not take me.
Hoovervilles and call them Trumpvilles. They're gonna be great people. There's gonna be a lot of space in them. Great houses. We made them from American factories. They're not there yet. We haven't built the factory. That's okay.
Just a bunch of guys with double chests outside.
Look at him go. He's building. He's a redstone engineer. He's working in the rain.
I love Depression Stream. Thanks, Diesel. Listen, it's not to like doom and gloom everybody, but because obviously, this is like not a fun conversation. As funny as it is to dog on the quartering, right? I want it, like, part of the reason I brought Johnny on is that way we can make it a little bit more like you can take something away from this type thing, right? Because like there's just so much discussion going around without anybody like. I think it's important for people who like run a business to fucking say like talk about this because this is crazy and it'll affect everybody, right? Not to be a political Andy. I don't want to be the next Hassan, God forbid.
So I'm not gonna, obviously probably by how I'm talking, you can gather what I believe politically. I still won't state specifically But depending on who you are and what you're doing and your political beliefs, a lot of people, a lot of creators online are like, you got to have a good community around you. Build up that community around you because they're the ones that you're gonna lean on. You ever hear that?
Mm-hmm.
How the fuck am I gonna do that? What am I gonna do? Go outside?
Well,
I'm gonna go down to the corner store and say, hey guy,
yeah, where all
you wanna
those
build a
people hang
community
out
with me?
now.
Yeah, where the fuck outside?
You know what would solve this problem? Walkable neighborhoods.
You're right. It would. I do actually live in a walkable area, but
I know. It's why I want to be able to move there, but I can't afford anything over there. Okay, you're lucky you're a
too
student.
expensive.
Yeah, it's way too
Yeah.
expensive. If only there could be a change in zoning laws, or we made it easy to build houses or something. Nope, we're gonna raise tariffs,
Will
people.
my Trumpville shack ship via Prime today?
You'll owe nothing and you'll be happy. All right, it's better now that I'm saying it and not those woke liberals.
They're gonna use this when they're like putting us at the guillotine, because they're gonna be like, "All right, Joseph and Jonathan, come up. Let's review the footage. They don't like me. Everybody see them." And then the crowd cheers. And then he's like, "Off with their heads." And then
Trump
done.
himself is gonna execute us.
Yeah.
You've committed crimes against Skyrim and their people. What say you in your defense?
This is treason. We're actually committing treason right now by talking about tariffs and how they're not necessarily the best thing. Will I say, tariffs. We're Puerto Rican. Oh no, we actually live in a big garbage pile. It's actually one big landfill.
We're gonna deport them. They're going back to the great big garbage pile. Oh my God, it's Quite. I love that guy. Quite. Big fan of the tariffs. Big fan of the tariffs.
Oh.
Yeah, we're gonna be
Elon's
Elon's
sweatshop,
Oh my God. Holy shit.
You can quote him on that. You can quote him. He said quote in the name, like his name. He's that guy. He's that little guy in the hoodie.
Oh, actually, let me get Joey. I'm gonna text Joey. He's gonna come on.
Oh,
He
great.
can do his Trump.
Now this is just us min-maxing a fucking Trump impression right now. I mean, the point of us bringing this all up is actually so that way we can just radicalize you. No, I mean, not maybe me. I don't know about him, but
I think that you should have your own informed opinion and do your own research into whatever it is that affects you.
We're gonna
and
add
you
a
want to
bomb
think
to
of.
the new Teslas. All those liberals who want to return them will blow them up. My friend Elon, look at him go. He's jumping. He's really sad. He's really sad.
Damn it, Joey. Where are you?
Yeah, I'm telling. I told. He said, "Oh, word." So.
Oh,
he's
word.
probably-
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this other guy was like, this other journalist was like dogging on the quartering, and he was like, "Hey man, you don't manufacture, like, why don't you manufacture your coffee in America? Why don't you make it in America?"
How is he gonna grow it in America?
Well, it was bait because the quartering, like, they both obviously know that it was to get a rise out of the quartering because, like, yeah, quartering is going to be impacted by the tariffs, right? So it's like really outrageous that quartering is in that park when he's like a party that's directly affected. And then the guy went further on to go like look and see like where quartering manufactured like his t-shirts, and it was like a fucking Nicaraguan.
China.
No, it was like a Nicaraguan like sweatshop.
Our t-shirts, the t-shirts that you have, and guys, I'm sorry if you're against this. but the specific material that was woven together to make what the t-shirt is, Pakistan. I'm sorry. Real sorry. But my friend Sunny, she actually printed on them.
Yeah, I was
So,
gonna say the design is printed here.
design is printed
Yeah.
here. So we're halfway there.
Design's printed here in somebody else's room.
Yeah, so actually I just started my I have a greenhouse out back. I'm growing cotton, and then I'm gonna hire someone to pick that, and then I have this other person I'm gonna hire to weave it into a shirt. And then Sunny's gonna print on that shirt. So in total, it's probably gonna cost you $3,000 for that shirt, but you know it's real good. It's gonna be real
Hey, you
good.
know,
I also pay both of them.
That's
$15 an
crazy
hour.
because there's some $3,000 shirts out here that ain't even, made in America. Put diesel on the loom and call him a fruit on the loom.
Oh, Joey's in the
my
waiting
God.
room.
Okay, I'll pull him in.
Okay, there's such a good explanation as to why I chose to use my MacBook Lite microphone, I promise.
Oh, okay. This is Joey, everybody. John Chairs. There, John Chairs.
My
Hey,
fucking
Joey.
dad kicked the shit out of my computer and destroyed my Wi-Fi antennas.
Joey, can you do a Trump impression?
Of course I can. Did you actually call me on just for this?
A little bit.
Of course I can. I can explain exactly how I plotted to destroy the Manipotion Coffee Company. The beautiful company. I just don't like them. That's why I put all my evil coffee tariffs in place. That's what I called them. I called them evil tariff to destroy coffee, or poop for short.
Joey, or Trump, really. We have a Trump's. We have a book that we want to film in your. Joseph, go back to the mixology. We have a book that we want to film in your kitchen.
Everybody loves.
It's called
Everybody
MAGA.
loves my kitchen. Everybody loves my kitchen.
It's called MAGA Mixology Project Summer 2025.
I specifically interviewed RFK. Beautiful, beautiful guy. I've seen him shirtless before. Have you seen him shirtless? I've seen many men shirtless. Have you ever seen Arnold Palmer's penis? Anyways, I know personally, I asked RFK to give us a wonderful, wonderful drink. He put worms in his drink. So I said, okay, I'll try worms in my drink. And so I did. It was delicious. And now I'm really hungry all the time. And I eat lots of food, and it doesn't go anywhere. It's amazing.
Mr. Trump, one of my moderators is asking, what do you think about the Switch 2 and the new Mario Kart?
I think it's great. I really like that they put me in the game. You know, they put me as the cow. I am not offended. I'm very excited. I think it's the closest I'll ever get to being an Italian. Especially when compared to some of the greatest Italians in the world. Me personally, Trump, I personally think some of the top 2 best Italians ever made. Mussolini's got to be maybe top 2. Top 1. Top 1, of course, is going to be Andrew Cuomo. Folks, we love Andrew Cuomo. He touches people, and then says, no, don't worry, I'm Italian. It's okay.
Chat, for just reference, Andrew Cuomo was the governor of New York State, and he recently got in trouble like a year or 2 ago for like sexually harassing and groping women. And then
They said I couldn't do it. I said that's like telling one of those prayer people they can't pray.
And he named a fucking bridge after himself.
Yes,
Every
and
time I
also
cross that bridge, I scowl a little bit.
his brother
Me too.
his brother tried the sweep for him because his brother worked at CNN.
I want you to understand I pulled up the stream on my PC just as like a, when just to get like a space of like where I am in terms of it. My computer almost immediately crashed just trying to like watch a live stream.
I gotta fix that for him.
It's not even that. It's just I need new parts.
Just hold up.
I
Can you
built
read
this
that
computer
again?
back in like high school.
Oh yeah, what do you
That's-
think of that one New York gov running as an independent? Isn't it Cuomo running as an independent for mayor? Yeah.
No, it's Eric Adams is running independent.
Oh,
He was like,
okay.
"Oh,
Yeah,
too."
because okay, also guys, because we live in the fucking Gotham City, the mayor was also found to be completely corruptible. And for something like
Oh, yeah.
$10,000, he'd like be your best friend and like do whatever you fucking tell him.
And the funniest
Okay.
part was it was for turkey.
Yeah, it was for turkey. What the fuck?
Turkey.
Like he was getting pennies for that, okay? Like meanwhile, here's this guy walking Luigi Mangione down the fucking pier, being like, I had to be here. I had to make sure that New York City was protected. Yeah, buddy, you're part of the problem.
And it was literally like, what did he do? Oh, he let a Turkish embassy get through a little fire code restrictions.
Yeah, but like but the fact that he's so corruptible that you could like it wouldn't be that hard for him to be like, oh, Meta Potion coffee. I love Meta Potion coffee.
We repped that.
If we took out a
We were
10,000
leading into that.
we could start we could get a $20,000 loan and get Eric Adams to talk about Meta Potion coffee.
Oh, we
Chat,
do
if
great.
somebody donates $500 to FPS Diesel right now, we can get a cameo from George Santa.
It can happen. We
Dude,
just gotta
that's-
wait 3 months.
That's even better
5
than
email
George Santos on
correspondences.
fucking Fortnite Friday. It's crazy.
Did he go on Fortnite Friday yet?
He has been on Fortnite Friday. He debated
Okay,
Connor
good. That
East
was definitely
Pants
on
while
my
they
bingo
duoed.
card.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah, they played duos.
You know, I'm like really trying to fucking dodge thinking about Mario Kart 8 and shit too. That's the worst part. I don't want to say anything. Like,
the tariffs, they needed to happen. We needed to raise the prices on Switch
don't-
games.
I don't even know if it's really that. I really don't even know if it was the tariffs that fucking got Nintendo. Because they charged $70 for Tears of the Kingdom. Let's not forget this. Somehow we went from a generation from 2017 to, I guess we can call it now, 2025. We went from the $60 game generation to one incredibly random $70 game that, like, let's be honest, didn't really do anything to warrant it, kinda. It was like, if you want to be like really, really polite, it was maybe a little double the size of Breath of the Wild, just because it had the underground map that had literally nothing inside of it, and the sky that had like maybe 1 or 2 dungeons inside of it. It's and then we were boom immediately. We're at 80 now. We're at 80, and then now we're at 90.
It's the tariffs. Even
Do you know
for
that
the
they're
digital
making a
companies.
Japanese only exclusive console? There's 2 versions of the
Really?
Switch. There's the Japanese version and the non-Japanese version. And the Japanese version is like $100 cheaper. But the trick is you can't. It's Japanese region exclusive, which is violently unprecedented given the fact that the Switch was a region-free console and that most of gaming has shifted to region-free gaming.
That's
Well, here's
it's
the
all right,
best thing
guys.
about-
You're gonna be Nihongo Jozu now, okay?
Here's the best thing about shifts is we used to be a globalized economy, and now we're going back to pre-World War II, and we're keeping everything in the country.
Ooh. Back
We're
to the good old
isolationists.
days of 1920. Nothing bad will happen in the next decade for sure.
Is this what you had? Is this what you had me on? Is he like having a little
Well,
cockfight between a
to-
business major and a nerd?
To be honest, we just wanted you to do the Trump impression because we were talking about a guy selling the MAGA Mixology Project Summer 2025, and then I was quoting you from that time that we almost died. You know,
Oh, you mean the time that I have almost like no?
I've met Simple
Dude.
Flips. Great guy, Simple Flips.
You know, I was thinking about that because it was in March, right? March was like
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
like
it was
March
like
ago
a
that
few
happened.
weeks ago.
And I
You
just
wanna
kind of
go
like,
again?
yeah, you know what? In my body, I just felt like this inner wind blow, and I was like, it's been a year since then. I softly got on one knee and I touched down and I said, it's been. And my body still feels the scars.
We gotta double up on it. I still feel I don't feel it still, but I can feel it when I think about it. The cold that we felt.
I'm gonna be honest. I just cupped my balls for like 90% of that night.
Really?
That's great. You
Yeah,
guys were
well, your
like,
balls are hot.
you know,
Sorry, we bonded while you were in your 0-degree bag.
yeah, it sucks to suck. I don't know what to tell you.
Man, those cowboy boots. I haven't put on those cowboy boots since.
All right,
I haven't washed them either.
But this MAGA Mixology Project Summer 2025, can we film a video of us doing it in your kitchen?
I would love to if my computer was able to see the fucking Amazon tab below a quality of 144p.
Well,
No.
trust me, it's good.
Trust me, it's good as wild. Oh, JD Vance is back there. He's playing with the ball.
That's not
Let
what
me
JD
go. Wait,
Vance
no,
looks
that's
like.
not. I almost did the Trump
that's
impression.
not what
JD Vance
JD
doesn't have an impression.
That's
he just
not what he looks
talks. You don't, if you want to do RFK, you do the yeah, yeah.
All right.
But
He
like,
doesn't even talk.
I
Just makes
JD
noise.
Vance just
I'm
sounds like
gonna-
a guy who was cursed to not work at Home Depot for his whole
I'm
life,
gonna
despite being
end
born to do
stream.
business.
I'm gonna end stream. Mr. President, can you tell give the audience a call to action, please?
Of course I can. I can do more than just one call to action, folks. Now, first, we're going to start with Mana Potion Coffee. Mana Potion Coffee is an incredible website I have personally tried to destroy, but I just can't destroy those good coffee deals, folks. USDA organic coffee, fair trade. I hate that kind of stuff because I'm evil and eat babies. But that doesn't stop the Mana Potion crew. They do wonderful seasonals like lavender hot chocolate and lavender lemonade, even though they can't have that anymore because I've personally injected all the yellow 40 into my blood. That's why I look so yellow. It's because of all the yellow 40 I do, folks. Is it yellow 40 or is it yellow 5? I kind of forget.
It's yellow 5.
Try and fix.
It's yellow 5. See, I ate so much of it that it became yellow 5. Now it's yellow 40. That's just how much I've had. And now, of course, I have to tell you to use code Joey. That's JOEY, or as I like to say, TRUM, penis. Is it 10 or 15% off? I kind of forget.
I'm pretty sure it's 15.
Wow, that's 15% off a bag of USDA organic, fair trade, wonderfully D&D inspired coffee beans. I played a game of D&D back once in the 80s when we used to do cocaine like it was Adderall. It was incredibly scary. I could see the dragons like they were real. The dragons were very real, I'll have you know. It inspired me to build my own dungeon in the White House. And now, of course, I have to mention that this is not just John. This is not just me. This is the John Chairs. The John Chairs, funny man on Twitch. You should follow the John Chairs on Twitch. He's very funny. He's very close to 200 Twitch followers. He's very close. It's like 199, I think. It's very interesting. He's also a YouTuber, and he's got a Sonic the Hedgehog. We love the Sonic the Hedgehog, folks, don't we? We love Sonic the Hedgehog. He's blue. That's like my favorite color, which is red. He's got a Sonic the Hedgehog review coming out very soon. He's editing it on this computer as we speak.
Mm-hmm.
And he's streaming Fire Emblem 3 Houses right now. If you're a fan of Fire Emblem.
Mr. President, I'm stopping stream.
No, you can't. There's still so much more I have to say.
No, Mr. President, get down.